It's best way if forced to use one. Yeah, right. Fingers crossed, man. This is going to be absolute cinema.
Oh, that's terrible.
Gladiator with 3 vulnerables. There goes our Havoc. This is going to kill us. Well, this didn't go well.
Oh, no.
This is what happens when you're not smart like me. You mess up. How's it going, everybody? This is Seer here, and we have a round 3 match of Cosmic Crucible. We are pushing that 3-0, and we have a tough opponent in Gridiron King. They're 178 million TCP. No Professor X, but they have not dropped any matches, so we have a work cut out for us. For stage 1 defense, they have a 2-piece Annihilator, Super Scroll, and Phoenix Force. This seems to kind of be the meta in stage 1 right now. Stage 2, we have Night Stalker, Scientist Supreme. I debated about pulling mine because of the counter that's currently out there for them. However, this is making it to where it's pulling a Cabal team, which means it can't use Cabal elsewhere. So right now I'm kind of sitting on this. I haven't really made any adjustment to that team. Stage 3, we have a Black Knight, we have Kahori, Omega Sentinel, Old School Emma, and we have Ms. Marvel Classic. Stage 4 is where the Mephisto's currently at. They have Captain Britain, New Emma, Sasquatch in the Pre-Taunt, and Shadow King. Stage 5 is the full Thunderbolts team, and this team has actually surprised me. I didn't think the room rolls would be as impactful, but making it to where they all basically ult turn 1 is definitely a thing. And stage 6, we have Liberty with Ultimate. So let's see if we can try to get all one-shots, because we're going to need that to get the victory today. All right, we're testing out Vigilante in stage 5 again. The reason I'm taking this matchup is because the 3 new characters are only 3 red, so I think I could kill them fairly easy. The issue's going to end up being that Taskmaster and Ghost again being that 3 diamond. Last time, Taskmaster ulted, then Ghost ulted. I lost Punisher and Hitmonkey, and then Ghost decided to 1 vs 3 me. We're going to see if that happens again today. I'm just a glutton for punishment. Let's go in. All right, so Songbird, there's her move. We got the trauma on us. That's not good. We're going to end up doing our ult right here. Pushed Hyperion down. Almost took out the Ghost right there. There goes Hyperion. Taskmaster's almost killed. Victoria Hand taking her turn. Ghost is about to ult now. All right, so that's kind of what happened last time. Let's try and go into Victoria. We're going to ult into her. All right, Taskmaster doing his thing. Victoria's killed off. There goes our Daredevil Modern. That's kind of a shitty thing. This is not unavoidable. We're just going to... Oh, apparently she has higher accuracy. I didn't know that. All right, let's take Songbird out, and we're just going to have to prepare for a cleanup on here. Let's go into Taskmaster, Striker Shot. All right, so we got to clean up. All right, we're moving into stage 3. We are taking our Immortal X-Men into the Kahori team. They're not going to have the taunt on spawn, so Storm's going to be able to try to get a stun into Kahori. That's going to take the charges off of Black Knight, and then we could do a turn meter rewind with Jean. From there, we should have pretty decent amount of control. Let's see if everything works as planned. All right, so there's the passive shot. Mega Sentinel going due to the OG Emma. And there we got lucky. If Storm would have gotten the stun, that would have been game over. Let's get a stun in Kahori. So no rewind due to the Jean. That's not good. All right, let's special here. Now we have to deal with a Black Knight. That's not cool. All right, let's pull everybody together, except for Ms. Marvel Classic because of her resistance. I'm going to do a basic here. That's going to get a charge on Cable, so now we can special for a rewind. All right, let's pull the ult. There goes the Black Knight. Let's rewind over here. Let's special into Kahori, see if we can get a kill on her. The immunity definitely saved her there, which I kind of expected. There's that heal, that's not cool. Let's go back into Kahori and ult. Special with Jean. So this should stay as the one shot, however, not clean unless Ms. Marvel Classic decides to ruin my day, which is definitely doable. All right, there goes Kahori. And let's go ahead and ult here. All right, rewind. All right, trauma stun. All right, there we go. Not the cleanest, but we got it. All right, there we go. All right, for stage 2, we're using the old reliable Cabal Kang Moonstone into the Night Stalker Scientist Supreme. The way this works is Kang is going to end up doing a basic into Man Thing. We get off him. We use Moonstone Special into Blade that calls the assistant. Rewinds either Agatha or Oath, whoever has the offense up basically at that time. And then that kills Blade. We take the first hit. Then after that, it's an easy blow afterwards. All right, so let's go ahead, use the basic here, get some crits. No crits. There's a crit. All right, so now we're going to end up doing the special into Blade. That's going to end up rewinding Oath right here. There goes Blade. Let's target Oath and special. That should hopefully kill the Oath off. Nope, not yet. All right, target. She has defense up. Yeah, let's go into Oath. That killed Agatha. Assist come in, kills Oath right here. Permakill and game over. Perfect. All right, we're going in with Starjammers as fortifiers in stage 1. We're going to see how this ends up playing out. Basically, the thought process is I messed up. I wanted to actually use Starjammers in that stage 3 matchup, Immortal X-Men elsewhere, then that would allow me to use Illuminati APOC in here. That was my initial plan. Well, I'm a dum-dum, so what we're doing is Starjammers as fortifiers. The reason for the fortifier is in this room, fortifiers apply only one of the vulnerables, so that way they're not really getting stacked up for them to kind of hit me. They've flipped their vulnerables anyways, so this is going to allow some extra regen, drain, hopefully survivability, so I can kind of weather the storm when they start popping off on me. Let's see how it goes. It's best way if forced to use one. Yeah, right. Fingers crossed, man. This is going to be absolute cinema. All right, so right off the bat, we don't have to worry about this. Let's try an ability. Actually, we can't ability block. We can get a stun over here. Then we're going to try and get ability blocks over in this section. So this is going to apply ability block and disrupt to the adjacent, so we can get it into Omega Red and Phoenix here. All right, so now we have a special we can use. Let's go into Thanos. I'm thinking we just try to get push on Thanos. That way Lilandra's going to be able to ult. Groot's going to be able to heal us back up. All right, so there's the push. Lilandra's now going to end up ulting. And now we could end up doing a special to get a kill. Let's just try to kill the Thanos off real quick. He has 4 vulnerables on him. All right, Super Skrull doing the special. Gladiator with 3 vulnerables. There goes our Havoc. This is going to kill us. Well, this didn't go well. Let's kill the Phoenix then. This is what happens when you're not smart like me. You mess up. All right, for stage 4, we're going to end up taking our Odin, Null, then we have a 3-piece Annihilator in here. We don't really need the Annihilators elsewhere, I don't think. So basically, Null's going to stop the Empowered. He's going to end up doing the Empowered or the Special, and that's going to end up targeting the Gladiator right here. Then we have Odin basically just going to clear the way and kind of do the heavy lifting on this one. All right, so there goes the Mephisto into the Gladiator. All right, let's go ahead and ult here with Gore. All right, so there goes Sassy Pants. We got some assists. Let's go ahead and special, get some buffs out there in the battlefield effects. And there goes the first swipe. There goes Britain. Let's go into Shadow King. And I'm going to special. I don't want to get rid of the battlefield effect from Null. All right, so there goes the Shadow King. And this is just absolute horror going on right now. There's the ult. Get the assist. And yeah, big time overkill on this one. All right, take 2. We are taking in Superior 6 Mysterio and Old Man Logan. I debated about taking Kraven in over Mysterio. Chat kind of corrected me. Basically, I was thinking I wanted the ability blocks from Kraven and the safeguard that he applies. However, the slows and the ability blocks that Mysterio provides is still pretty clutch, even though I don't have to worry about the immunity flips anyways, because Green Goblin Classic would ult and flip all that stuff anyways. That's why I was kind of thinking of keeping the Kraven, but we're going to play it safe. Go with the Mysterio. We still have Old Man Logan, though. Old Man Logan's just going to wreck this team with the bleeds, the stuns, the ability blocks. He's just a one-man army into this, and the Superior 6 is really good support for him. Let's go in. All right, so no immunities. We're going to end up doing an ult here from Green Goblin Classic. This is going to flip and get trauma because the trauma is actually not being dropped off because the room is busted. So what can we say? Let's go ahead and get a stun into Ultimus because he's about to take his turn. All right, so now we're going to end up trying to focus more into Falcon Joaquin over here because he's going to be the next one to go. All right, let's go ahead and special here. That should kill Ultimus off. All right, now we're going to end up targeting Peggy. Let's go ahead and ult with Old Man Logan, get those claws out, and just kind of wreck shop. And this is what an overpowered Old Man Logan looks like. 3 diamonds, G20. He's great. All right, let's just keep going into this Peggy, get her killed off. There she goes. And now Patriot's going to get shanked, and there it is. Just G20 your Old Man Logan, apparently, and it's very easy. All right, for stage 1 cleanup, we're going to end up taking in our Illuminati, and let's go ahead and switch her back over to a Raider. And we're using Ares in here so that way the safeguard gets off. The Thanos endgame's already very low in health. Captain Britan's going to stop the turn meter from the Super Scroll as well. This one should be fairly straightforward. We just have some cleanup on the Thanos. Then from there, I'm going to try to push into the Omega Red because I believe he still has his ult to go. And we can kind of get some good control into the Super Scroll. Super Scroll hasn't done his ult yet. He did a special. I don't think he did his basic. So what about check abilities when we load in? All right, let me see where Super Scroll is at as far as ability goes. If it will let me. There we go. All right, abilities. We're going to have a special from Omega Red. So we got to pull that. Yeah, Super Scroll's going to ult turn 1. So we need to get over to him. Let's go ahead and special. There goes the there goes the Thanos. Let's go ahead and ult into Super Scroll here. Get trauma and slow. And I'm going to get a stun into... He has 5 vulnerables on him. I got to take that out. Let's ult into Omega Red first. All right, so now let's go into Super Scroll. That Gladiator has 6 on him. Let's get a stun on him. It's going to be ability block, or we can stun. Let's do the stun. All right, let's ult into Super Scroll. There's his ability block now. Let's get Safeguard back on us here. There's the basic because of that ability block. Vulnerables actually didn't destroy us, luckily. All right, let's get a stun into you. Let's ult here. Man, those vulnerables just destroyed them with that ult. There we go. Clean up. Done. All right, clean up for stage 5 or aisle 5 cleanup. Orcus APOC. Basically, we're just going to use that ultimate from APOC that should kill the Taskmaster. Then we're going to end up using that Falcon Punch into Ghost. Hopefully this goes according to plan and Ghost doesn't tear me a new one. All right, let's go ahead, target Ghost and special. That should kill Taskmaster. Ability to block into Ghost. Where did Ghost go? What happened? She was there, then she was no longer in existence. What happened to Ghost? She had like a quarter life left. All right, Gridiron. Are you still attacking? 41,806. Did you not clear or still attacking? All right, so dropped one there in stage 1. Couldn't clear stage 3. Okay, so looks like we got the victory. Got the dubs, gents and ladies that's in chat. All right, so stage 1, Starjammers, we messed up. Illuminati cleanup, 7955. Stage 2, Cabal King, Moonstone, 8370. Stage 3, Immortal. I should have Starjammers this. This would allow me to use Immortal in 6. Then I was going to use Illuminati APOC in 1. That was my initial plan. Stage 4, Odin, Null, and basically Overkill, 8370. Stage 5, Vigilante. I got eager. That's basically what it is. 7969. Stage 6, Illuminati, sub 6, and Old Man Logan with Mysterio, 8370. Defense, let me see if they finished. Let me back out really quick so I can see what they end up doing the finish with. That was already finished. Don't mind me. I'm a dum-dum, like I said. Starjammers in 1. They got the full hit. They used Raiders, Strikers, and a healer. We'll watch the replay after this. 8350. I'm actually curious about this one. Stage 2, they did Vigilante. This is a risky fight. That was ballsy of them, and I like it. I've seen this fail numerous times. 8366. Props to you, man. All right, stage 3, they did a burn attack. Then they tried using Immortal X-Men. I'm curious if the Kahori factor played an effect on here, because they would have gotten the exhaust out there. Xavier would have probably specialed, reapplied, or cleansed the exhaust, is my guess. Then they went in, and then Kahori probably did specials and flipped everything, is my guess. Stage 4, Cabal, APOC, Hang, 8366. Stage 5, Immortal X-Men, 8355. This is risky as well. If Ghost ends up dodging the Storm and the Gene move, then it's basically game over. If that dodge happens, it's a big RNG check. Stage 6, Odin, Old Man Logan, Illuminati, Overkill, 8366. Let's go ahead and watch this replay on 1. I want to see how this ends up playing out over here. Immortal X-Men doesn't stop Kahori. I thought they did. I thought that they did. And yeah, Xavier doesn't mean to auto-win, so that's why. All right, so they are specialing with Havoc, get these stun, but the stun doesn't actually work on the Phoenix Force. They're probably going more for the AoE hit. And then Howard into that chunk as well. So there's the ability block. Now they're going to rocket into Shadow King. So they're just flat out ignoring Thanos endgame. Valandra does the ult for the push. There goes the Mega Red, Super Scroll. All right. And then special, that's going to end up pushing Thanos. There goes their buffs. And they have that ability block into Phoenix. If Phoenix would have gotten killed off. All right, so Thanos wrecking shop right here. So Groot's going to have to solo the Thanos with all the vulnerables, and then basically a timeout once he kills Phoenix right here. And then timeout. Well played. Well played on that one. So yeah, we went 3-0. Really happy about that. I actually thought I would have lost that because this is a good player. Ricardo, great player as well. Fat Sheets. We had a lot of good matchups this week. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it, even with the current bugs in Crucible. If you did, please remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have one for the rest of the day.